Hey, I think the guy might win the race. I don't know. He looks like he's doing pretty good. I don't think I'll clap for him. So, I basically stuck a head on a dummy, put some bones in it, and just did a quick little animation. Just something just so he's moving. And if you notice, they're rendering each frame out to 512 by 512. That makes it a lot easier to sync the animation because I already know the timing for that. So we only need like 8 frames. We're only doing 8. We could do more. I don't want to spend that much time doing it though. It'd be smoother with more frames, but it'd take twice as long. So, yeah, we'll just do 8. So I'll render this out. It's done. It was quick, wasn't it? So I need to go into my photo editor and I need to load those images into here. But I'm only going to load one at a time. I'll show you why. So we'll just take this one and drag it into here. Now, damn, that's kind of blurry. Oh, I forgot I only rendered 512 by 512. Dang, that's still crummy though, ain't it? Let me go back in here for a minute and take a look. What's the deal, man? What's the deal? If I don't have a background at all, will I render a transparent background, I wonder? I haven't tried. I don't know. So I'm telling it to render alpha channel. It should make life a lot easier if it does. Hell no, it's rendering the damn background back there. That ain't gonna work. It's low resolution. Well, I could render them all out to like 2048 by 2048 and just downscale them. That'd probably look better. Let's do that. 2048 by 2048. We'll make a new folder so that they're separate from the others. So this should be much better. So the first frame, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a bar, or it's called a guide. I'm going to drag a guide to the top of this, and then I'm going to drag a guide to the end, and then one at the bottom. What that's going to do is going to make life a lot easier. And let me zoom up, make sure. Yeah, see, you got to zoom up, man, because it's misleading. You would think it would snap. Oh, God dog it. I always hit that key, man. I keep hitting the wrong key. I'm used to being in Blender, and if you hold shift and you push in your middle mouse button, it rotates the rotates. I dog it. You only have to push in the mouse wheel. But like I was trying to do, get down to here and make sure, and look, that's not right either. Where did the dang thing go? Oh man, what the crap, man? Oh, come on. What's the deal? What's the deal? That's why it's good to zoom up. Make sure that you are. Alright. I ain't starting this over. Sorry. I'm not gonna do it. I'll be here all night because it'll never be it'll never be perfect. Dog it, man. It's just one. I honestly didn't want to make a video today because I know it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those days. I'd just rather not do anything but play a game. Alright, so what the guides did is now when we drag in, like we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, let's see, 1, 2. So we'll drag this one into here. And what that'll make it so that we can snap the image in there better. Now what I didn't do is I didn't adjust the canvas size yet. So it needs to be 8192 wide. No, it needs to be 16384. And remember, we're going to scale it back down to 512 by 4096. Did I just not tell that canvas size to be? Alright, so now we got that one in there. You can just take that guide and move it over. But each time I would get up close to make sure that it is in fact on the line. See, it's not on the line. It's not on the line. I thought this thing would have snap on it. I don't know where. I'll have to look it up later. I personally am not a fan of this. I like Photoshop better, but I don't have Photoshop. I have an old Photoshop, but it's too old. I could give myself a little more room. it'll snap fine to the guide there that you move. It's just the guide doesn't seem to want to snap to the edge of what would be logical, the edge of where you dragged it over to. That was why my other character was kind of skipping side to side a little bit. So you can see why I would want to do a lot of frames. Be here a long time. But once you get used to doing this a few times, you get a little quicker at it. I'm just also trying to talk while I'm doing something, and that already is a handicap for me. Already. Slow as it is, I'm not very good at multitasking. This stuff needs to be pretty precise. You'll see if it's not, you'll see it jumping around, skipping, like it's glitching or something. First thing I ever made with this animated texture stuff was a little flag man from that game Outrun. Just when they say go or whatever it is, I had him waving the flag back and forth. I only did like 3 or 4 frames for that. And once I figured it out, I was like, cool. And I recorded like real waterfall, and I put like a real waterfall. I just put like 16 frames animation for like the water. It was kind of like animating. I mean, it looked like a real waterfall. I mean, it was flat as a piece of paper, but it looked good from a distance. It didn't look good up close because you could see the low resolution that I had to use to get that many frames. I want to say I had to do like 256. I don't know how many more is there. Oh, just one more. So which one? Maybe that one. Alright, so there's our little sequence. So what I have to do now is, well, one thing I need to do, I need to merge all the layers to one layer. So I'll just hold shift. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I just right click and say merge visible layers. Alright, now I will add an alpha channel. Oh, it's already got an alpha channel. I don't know what I'm thinking. Color, layer, transparencies and layer. Colored alpha. And that'll be the blue. I don't want it to also take the blue away that's inside of him, because it'll remove the blue out of the skin and everything too. There's not like a lot of blue, but blue is a primary color, and you start removing all the blue and you're just left with, you know, yellow and red. Is it yellow and red? Yeah, yellow and blue make green. So it's yellow, blue, and red are the primary colors. You would think somebody that does artwork would know that right off the top of their head, but no, I don't. I have to think about it. So now that's done, let's brighten him up a bit because he is kind of dark. Actually, the head's dark and the body's light, which, I'll just try to do this real quick. Use the old dodge tool. Dodge and burn, brighten and darken like shadows or highlights or midtones. Well, let's see if I just do a dodge on the head. A couple dodges. That's going to look. That's going to look terrible. There is some blue missing out of there. Let's just try this. Colors, highlights, shadows. Let's desaturate it a bit. No, you don't have to do all this. I'm just doing this so I can try to make it look a little better. But I'm not going to spend all day on it. I'll do the unsharp mask on it now. Enhance unsharp mask. I think that'll be okay. So we just export this as a DDS format. It does look a little blue. I might have added a little too much blue. I'll just leave it like that. We'll export him as a DDS. Oh, I gotta rescale him. Forgot. Almost forgot. Scale image 4096 by 512. And that does look a little better, I think, than if we'd done it the other way. So export as, I'm going to stick this in the other level with the other fan. Where is he at? Art, fan. This will be fan number 4. .des. It's got transparency, so it's BC3 compression type. Generate bitmaps. You can use PNGs too. I like using DDS format because it's better performance than PNGs and JPEGs. Now the next thing is in Blender. We need to make a plane. I'll just go to new general and basically make a plane. flat plane, mesh plane. I'll rotate it like so. Move it up. Put that image on there. New material. Let's call this fan 4. Base color, image, texture, open. Open image. You already knew that was not going to look right. So what you do, you basically are going to unwrap this. Since it's a perfect square, when you unwrap it, it will unwrap a perfect square. Let's rotate this like that. And you don't want you don't want to be floating, so it's better that if you're going to make something like this, you probably want to kind of get the feet kind of in the ground, or look like it's standing on the ground somewhat. So what'll happen now is it knows this is the UV map, and when you do the sequence animation, it's going to basically move from here to the next, exactly one space over to the next one, and then the next one, and the next, and next, and next. That's where the timing comes in. And for like 512 by 4096, the timing is 0.125, I believe. Now you won't see it animating here. That's not what, you're not going to see that. You have to export it now as DAE. And in that same folder, I'll just call this Rocky Fan, Rambo Fan. Selection only, because we don't need the light or the camera. So now I need to make this texture Fan 4, and that will go into the levels, Jungle Rock Art, Fan. Alright, where is my main dot materials? So since I've already animated Jason and he does exactly what he's supposed to do with the animation frames, I'll just copy his texture, put a bracket and a comma, then I'll paste it, and I'll just rename it. So this will be, I can't believe I forgot, Fan 4, I think, Fan 4 is what I call the texture. Color map is, well, what is the color map? Fan4.dds. Now, you don't have to have all this stuff in here. The only reason it added this stuff is because I edited the texture after the fact, so it adds all that stuff. If you want to share that with somebody else, you're going to have to remove this stuff out of here. And then they can put it in any level they want. As long as that material, that mesh, and that main dot, the texture map, the main dot materials, and the mesh, as long as they're together in the same folder, you can move them to any folder you want. See, the timing's already set in here, 0.125 frames per second, 19, and it's already got a alpha clip. Alpha test is alpha clip, and then I've run that up to 255, which I'll show you in the editor what that looks like. Let's load it up, get a look at it. you don't have to go through all the trouble I went through to animate something. You can just have someone take a picture of you waving and like have them record you like take 8 pictures of you like in slow motion waving, right? And then every frame you're going to manually remove the background, which is a lot easier to do in Photoshop. And then you will basically, just like I took the pictures that were rendered and stuck them in there one by the other, one by side, all the way down. You'll do that with your pictures also. Just make sure that the person doesn't move at all with the camera. It's probably better that they set the camera on something and just press the button so that it doesn't move. And you'll just basically loop your animation like if you were animating something, and you will have it starting over. Where you end is where you begin, so that it's a continuous, I don't know how to explain it, but I think you understand. I can damn confuse my own self sometimes trying to explain things. Rambo, you ain't doing anything. And that's not right. Man, you supposed to be clapping. You ain't doing anything. Why is it so green? Where'd all this come from? Oh, that's Jason Fan. Oh, wait a minute. It's Rambo. Where is my fan for? What's the deal with that? Oh goodness, what the hell, man, is this dookie? Text unformatted. What the hell does that even mean? Shut your ass up. Alright, let's look at this. Well, it's not fan 2, you dumb idiot. It's fan 4. And there is no specular map. So you gotta pay attention to this stuff, man. You're making errors like me. Bad, just as bad as I am. You're making mistakes like this, then we just alike. I make them all the time. All the time. Fan 4. Fan 4. Fan 4. Okay, I know it says fan 4 for the name of the material, which goes there, there, and there. And the name of the color map is there. We're not adding any other maps. It's taking long enough as it is. Everything looks fine. Let's save. Let's reload. Just to be on the safe side, because it does make a temp folder when you make new stuff, and it'll basically make a CDAE of whatever it is that you've made. And those cached versions of DAEs can have their own texture information. So if you had a texture problem and you fixed it, you need to basically delete the temp folder to make sure that it's loading your new changes and not the old cached version. I wish it'd know, I wish the thing would update itself somehow or know better to, you know what I'm trying to say. had some like maybe some error checking or something where it's a little smarter. It would be great, man, if somebody wrote a program to export textures from Blender and it fill in a main.materials for you with all the stuff filled out like that Beam uses. That'd be cool. That's how to make these materials. So his alpha is going to be different than the other person's alpha. The other person's alpha, I mean, basically his alpha works for him. But I had to remove a lot more alpha clip because I've used the green screen on that one instead of blue. And you see how he's skipping? You don't want that. So if someone's taking your pictures, that's why I said you want to make sure that camera's still. So let's go to here. Let's change the alpha clip. See, that's with no clip. Or you just find a happy medium. You can also increase the brightness here or darkness. I'll use this a lot if I'm like blending stuff in a scene, like I got different kind of rocks and I want them to kind of match or look, at least appear like they're kind of absorbing some of the light that's around them. You know, like if you have to throw in a little green. He needs a little blue. That's what he's missing. Alright. Maybe a little brighter. That'll be fine there. What y'all think? Oh yeah, and double-sided if you want to see the back side also. Whether or not he casts a shadow, whether or not he receives a shadow. Like, he should receive a shadow. If this is casting a shadow, it should cast a shadow on him. Like, yeah, like that. Or if you don't want it receiving, you ain't got no choice. It's going to receive them regardless, apparently. You can just turn off cast shadows. Maybe that's a bug or something, but that ain't working. Let's see, lighting. Yeah, I don't use pixel specular. She also can make things glow or be self-emissive. You have to be careful with emissive because if you have your thing at nighttime, it's going to look funny. So here's that 0.125. So what will happen if this is not correct? This is what your animation will do. And it took me a while to finally figure out the timing. It took a while, believe me. So you hold down Control. And I started with like 0 or 0.01, and then I would go 2, 3, 4, 5, or 0, 1, 2, no, 0.125, 0.1, 0.2. Now you see how it's going one way, then it goes the other way? It's hard to kind of tell, it's moving so fast. Actually, that's skipping frames. That's the proper. Not sure how to make the back not be dark. Invert back face normals if you don't want it to be dark on one side, if you want it to be the same on both. See, I kind of rotate them around so it kind of looks like a different person. They're not all facing the same way. And once you start getting a few of them, then and you really start mass producing them. Now, it would be cool if you could make a blade of grass be a animated texture, because the blades of grass, you have the option with like ground cover, for example, where you can tell the thing no matter where you are, it will face directly at the camera. So if you were to move over here, it would move with you. It would turn as you turn, like that, like the old sprites used to do. But as you know, you go around, that's what you could do with the grass. We got a bunch of Rambos. There's no telling how many. You can probably put about 1 million if you really wanted to. Well, maybe not. Look at the performance. Shit. It's on a 3080. So yeah, I guess it does take a little bit of extra. It means you don't want too many. Let's delete those. It's probably increased demanding because there's probably more draw calls. I would think it's probably 8 draw calls, but I could be wrong. It could be 1. No, it's just 1. Don't know. But I ain't even getting 60 frames a second on this for some reason. This is the one I already worked and edited some, so it's already, I might have screwed this level up, basically. Alright, so this is what you can do. Save your level or whatever. We'll put, if you want to put them in a different level, just go to the art, to your levels art folder where they are. Just copy it to your clipboard, go to the other map you want to put it in, like I'll load small grid. Dog it. Come on now. Work with me here. Small grid ain't in there now, so to basically say save level. Now it just made a user folder of small grid, and I'll make an art folder. I mean, it may work if you just stick the folder in there. It may not have to actually go in the art folder. In fact, we can just try it and see. I did do just a minute ago a little work on that texture. Just make sure it didn't add no directories in here, because if it does, it ain't gonna load it. We'll close the game, reload it. I have seen when you like move stuff into a level while the level is loaded, sometimes it'll lock up when you try to reload the game, or sometimes it'll crash on you in the level, which I can understand that. You know, you probably shouldn't be adding stuff while the game's running. Not stuff that has to read the JSON files as it loads, you know. So here we go. Well, apparently I didn't hit save. I didn't hit the save button. Dummy. Did all that and didn't even hit the button. It's awfully dark. It's just this level. It's just the way the lighting is. You can be on the dark side of the moon or facing the sun. Stick Jason in there too. That's a tall sucker right there. A sucker with a S. That probably sounds like another word. No, I try not to use language like that. Now I do in real life. I shouldn't, but you know, people get mad. You know, they say things sometimes, but I try to keep that to a minimum. In fact, on my channel, I got like certain words are blocked. You know. Now we can give him a normal map too. I didn't think about that. We'll just run a filters, normal, let's see, generic normal map. And I won't do very much normal map, like 0.3, 0.5 maybe. And I'll export this as a DDS also, but remember we just moved that to small grid, so yeah. And I'll call this fan4_n for normal. BC5 compression type for normal maps. And I can do a high pass filter, enhance high pass. This basically is a over exaggeration of the lines that make up the image. It basically makes them have more definition. Now, since it's a transparency, normally I export these as DDS files with compression type 1, but since it's a detail map with a transparency, then I'll use BC3. Anytime you got a transparency, use BC3, unless it's a map that doesn't need a transparent background, like maybe you have the specular map, for example. I don't think you have to have that specular part of the transparency transparent, but I could be wrong. I haven't really messed a lot with these, to be honest with you. This is only like the second or third little character I've made that animates. Normal. And I'll usually just sometimes take the same image that is the primary image as a specular, which should be grayscale, but it still work. Let's see, detail goes in detail. Yeah, that didn't work. I don't know what it is about the there's a bug maybe. I noticed this before, like when I animated like water and stuff, like using detail maps on a sequenced or animated an animated texture, whether it's rotating or scrolling, whatever it's doing. I've noticed that I'm pretty sure yeah, you see how it doesn't do right. Now I don't mean the animation, I mean the colors. That's because, for whatever reason, animated textures do not like detail maps. Yeah, I know. What's? Yeah, I don't know. What's up? You know, that's what Rocky's like saying right now. I don't know why I don't do that. I don't know. I don't know that. I think I'm supposed to have a boxing match, but I forgot. Rocky Balboa. So I think this is pretty much it. I think just give you an idea what we're looking at. I am curious though. Oh yeah, look what I didn't do. I didn't save the material. Oh, that reminds me. You seen I added those maps, right? So what that did is in the main dot materials, it added all this stuff back in here. So if you want to continue to move these things to different levels, that's fine. You can add different maps. Just remember, the game's going to put these back in there, which is kind of weird because it says this is going to be depreciated soon, but yet it still does it. I don't know. Maybe it's just a compatibility thing. They got to probably maybe work out that or something. And I was thinking mods didn't have to have directories either, but apparently they do need to have the vehicle. They have to have vehicles. I think mods. Or no, I'm sorry. Vehicles, the name of the vehicle, and then the name of the texture. I couldn't figure out a few days ago what was going on with my textures. Man, I was like, man, I'm having damn rookie mistakes, like stuff mistakes I was making like when I was like a week into using the World Editor. Yeah, I want to turn off. I want to turn off the vertical sync, and I want to turn on the frames per second, and basically mass produce these so that we can see if they actually are importing performance. Let's see. Control R? Is it Control R? No. Control F? No. Or is it? Yeah, I guess it is. Control F. Now, you can't see that very good, can you? Alright. I don't know if you can see it, but it's saying like 232 frames per second. Now what I'll do. And you see by just going in the editor, I lost a couple frames a second. Oh, I didn't tell his texture to be invert back face normals. Somebody asked me a while back, I didn't know the answer. They'd asked me about the why the grass was dark on one side and not the other side. I think it's pretty much the same thing with grass. I can't be 100% sure. But I know I won't use like pixel specular on grass because it looks weird. Where the environment light affects the brightness and darkness of the grass. What's frames per second now? Yeah, it does. It does take a little performance. Not, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of damn stuff going on, you know. But I honestly didn't think it would take that much. I guess it just basically, my guess is, animated sequences maybe are a little more demanding than just having just an image that ain't moving at all. I mean, we can turn off the animation, and we should probably ought to like see an uptick as soon as we turn it off, if this is the case. I guess I gotta turn his off too. I don't know, folks. It just may be. I wouldn't think that's many polygons. I mean, it's just. I mean, one face. I don't know why it's. Even my fan on my GPU is putting out a little heat. Yeah, what's it say? Poly count is only 76,000, and I've imported in like something like in the millions. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's what it is. Draw calls. I was thinking each one had like 8 draw calls, but I guess if you combine them all together, that's a lot of things that's happening to draw. So like if we were to delete them all, or most all of them, the draw calls would drop significantly. I remember I tried to make a cabin for Friday the 13th level I was working on, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had like 180 draw calls for that one mesh. It performed like crap. The draw calls 900 and I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't understand that. Curious now because the frames per second. Oh, you know what? Crap. See how he's wavering back and forth? No, it's fine. That's just a low resolution texture. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody else probably knows. I don't. Oh, last thing. Let's test the grass theory. So let's see if this works. Oh, 1 second. Right back. I'm assuming that you can add grass to this map. typically you don't see anything on there until you reload it, but you save it and you reload the level and you'll see your texture. I think that's a bug too. I don't know. It could be. If it's going to work. Not sure. Crash. I don't see no Rambo grass. I don't see Rambo grass anywhere. That's the other mesh that I already put in there. Well, there's not a layer. So, I mean, there's not a terrain. There's not a terrain for the grass to stick to. I'll just take the terrain out of another level and stick it in there real quick. I didn't export it. Alright, I'll use this one. Man, I'm just using PBR though. I will try it. I don't like it's going to blow up or anything. Copy, paste, import terrain, that's test, name of that. So that will go on test. And change the grid size. Probability 1. Shape. We're not using a shape. But I guess we could. I guess we could use a shape also. Which may actually work better. I don't know. I'm just experimenting at this point. These are things I've been wanting to know. Yeah, but this didn't actually work. Or at least the shadows works. Rainbow grass. Hey, you need to cut the grass, I don't know. I don't know. Use new placement GPU. I don't know what that is. I think they added that, whatever that is. That's some shit there. They'll animate the shadow, but not the rainbow grass. Come on now. Everybody knows rainbow grass animates. Let's save the level and reload it. I guess you just can't have animations with grass. That's just what it comes down to. And I can understand. Nobody would think about doing something like that. Only me. That's a lot of rainbows. See how I move, they face the camera. Hey, they're doing the wave. You seen them in the crowds, how they do the wave? Kinda, not really. It kinda looks like that. I haven't really messed a lot with the clumping either. bumpy ground.